I never thought I knew love. Truth is, I didn't know it at all. Never thought I could love again like this. After all the pain and all the falls, then we jumped and gave it at all. And baby, we're still giving it all. From the moment of our very first kiss, I knew there was something loving in this. Cause a love like this don't just come along. You gotta fight for it or it'll be gone. Through the storm, through the tears, through it all, we kept choosing love when we could have let it fall. And now I'm so blessed you stayed a while. And even now you're still here somehow. Still loving me, touching me, holding me close, reminding me you're still home. I never thought I knew love. Truth is, I didn't know it at all. Never thought I could love again like this. After all the pain and all the falls, then we jumped and gave it at all. And baby, we're still giving it all. From the moment of our very first kiss, I knew there was something loving in this. Cause a love like this don't just come along. You gotta fight for it or it'll be gone. Through the storm, through the tears, through it all, we kept choosing love when we could have let it fall. And now I'm so blessed you stayed a while. And even now you're still here somehow. Still loving me, touching me, holding me close, reminding me you're still home. I never thought I knew love. Truth is, I didn't know it at all. Never thought I could love again like this. After all the pain and all the falls, then we jumped and gave it at all. And baby, we're still giving it all. From the moment of our very first kiss, I knew there was something loving in this. Cause a love like this don't just come along. You gotta fight for it or it'll be gone. Through the storm, through the tears, through it all, we kept choosing love when we could have let it fall. And now I'm so blessed you stayed a while. And even now you're still here somehow. Still loving me, touching me, holding me close, reminding me you're still home. I never thought I knew love. Truth is, I didn't know it at all. Never thought I could love again like this. After all the pain and all the falls, then we jumped and gave it at all. And baby, we're still giving it all. From the moment of our very first kiss, I knew there was something loving in this. Cause a love like this don't just come along. You gotta fight for it or it'll be gone. Through the storm, through the tears, through it all, we kept choosing love when we could have let it fall. And now I'm so blessed you stayed a while. And even now you're still here somehow. Still loving me, touching me, holding me close, reminding me you're still home. never thought I knew love. Truth is, I didn't know it at all. Never thought I could love again like this. After all the pain and all the falls, then we jumped and gave it at all. And baby, we're still giving it all. From the moment of our very first kiss, I knew there was something love in this. Cause a love like this don't just come along. You gotta fight for it or it'll be gone. Through the storm, through the tears, through it all, we kept choosing love when we could have let it fall. And I'm so blessed you stayed a while. And even now you're still here somehow. Still loving me, touching me, holding me close, reminding me you're still home. I never thought I knew love. Truth is, I didn't know it at all. Never thought I could love again like this. After all the pain and all the falls, then we jumped and gave it at all. And baby, we're still giving it all. From the moment of our very first kiss, I knew there was something love in this. Cause a love like this don't just come along. You gotta fight for it or it'll be gone. Through the storm, through the tears, through it all, we kept choosing love when we could have let it fall. And I'm so blessed you stayed a while. And even now you're still here somehow. Still loving me, touching me, holding me close, reminding me you're still home. I never thought I knew love. Truth is, I didn't know it at all. Never thought I could love again like this. After all the pain and all the falls, then we jumped and gave it at all. And baby, we're still giving it all. From the moment of our very first kiss, I knew there was something love in this. Cause a love like this don't just come along. You gotta fight for it or it'll be gone. Through the storm, through the tears, through it all, we kept choosing love when we could have let it fall. And I'm so blessed you stayed a while. And even now you're still here somehow. Still loving me, touching me, holding me close, reminding me you're still home. I never thought I knew love. Truth is, I didn't know it at all. Never thought I could love again like this. After all the pain and all the falls, then we jumped and gave it at all. And baby, we're still giving it all. From the moment of our very first kiss, I knew there was something love in this. Cause a love like this don't just come along. You gotta fight for it or it'll be gone. Through the storm, through the tears, through it all, we kept choosing love when we could have let it fall. And I'm so blessed you stayed a while. And even now you're still here somehow. Still loving me, touching me, holding me close, reminding me you're still home. I never thought I knew love. truth is I didn't know it at all. Never thought I could love again like this. After all the pain and all the falls, then we jumped and gave it at all. And baby, we're still giving it all. From the moment of our very first kiss, I knew there was something love in this. Cause a love like this don't just come along. You gotta fight for it or it'll be gone. Through the storm, through the tears, through it all, we kept choosing love when we could have let it fall. And now I'm so blessed you stayed a while. And even now you're still here somehow. Still loving me, touching me, holding me close, reminding me you're still home. I never thought I knew love. Truth is, I didn't know it at all. Never thought I could love again like this. After all the pain and all the falls, then we jumped and gave it at all. And baby, we're still giving it all. From the moment of our very first kiss, I knew there was something love in this. Cause a love like this don't just come along. You gotta fight for it or it'll be gone. Through the storm, through the tears, through it all, we kept choosing love when we could have let it fall. And now I'm so blessed you stayed a while. And even now you're still here somehow. Still loving me, touching me, holding me close, reminding me you're still home. I never thought I knew love. Truth is, I didn't know it at all. Never thought I could love again like this. After all the pain and all the falls, then we jumped and gave it at all. And baby, we're still giving.
All right. Hello.
Hello. Welcome.
Man, we just had some technical difficulties, y'all. I was here at 7, I promise. Matter of fact, we were here at 6:30ish, trying to work out the little kinks and everything.
It's
and
always something.
You know what?
It's okay though. We figured it out. And now we're here.
We did. Mm-hmm. All right. So we were going to just kind of let a couple more people come in, but I think because we are behind in schedule, we're just going to go ahead and get started. So thank you guys for joining us for Mindful Marriage and our episode today, Why Did I Get Married? On God's Purpose for Marriage. For those of you who don't know me, I'm LaToya Ntlabati, a certified psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner and owner of Sound Mind Restoration and Wellness Center in Newport News. I'm an author, minister, life coach, and I'm here with my lovely boo, Westley LaToya.
The best.
Westley is a network engineer, a Navy veteran. He is a life coach as well. And together we have built Mindful Marriage. And we are also founders of Ignite Coaching Academy, which we will definitely have more information for that. So definitely stay tuned. In the coming weeks, we'll have more information. So why are we here? Our call and purpose for enriching marriage did not just happen out of anywhere. I would say that we have experienced in our 10 years of marriage, everything that you can think of. Everything that would destroy a marriage, we've experienced. So we've experienced, first of all, we're a blended family. We have 6 kids between the two of us.
Black Brady Bunch, by the way.
Yeah. So I had 3 coming in. He had 3 coming in, and the dynamics of a blended family is difficult in and of itself. Mm-hmm. So we've experienced that. We've experienced financial hardship. We've experienced infidelity, mm-hmm. right? We've experienced just a season of not being able to stand each other. And we it's the truth. Right. What, am I lying?
Yeah, no. Not at all.
You know it. So, yeah, I like, seriously, we did not like each other for a while, and we've persevered through that. And only because of the support that we have, only because of godly principles, getting outside of ourselves, right? Learning to grow and being intentional and deciding not to give up on each other. And so that is the reason why we're here. And that's the reason why we want to support and build marriages. And so tonight we have a great episode lined up for you. We have some amazing guests. Terence and Atiya Johnson will be joining us shortly, and we're just going to have dialogue about why did we get married and God's purpose for marriage. And so the first question is for you, Wesley, babe. Why did you get married?
Ooh, that's a loaded question. Honestly, it started because I felt like I found the right one at the time.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. You're very special.
No.
And, she held your boy to the iron. What we doing? So I said, I got to get it right. I got to do it right.
Well, yeah. So he's right. I did ask what we were doing because when we first got together, I'm going to be honest. We were fornicating. We were, don't play.
Don't pull me in with you.
we were fornicating. Okay, we were sleeping around, messing around, tipping and dipping is what we were doing. And listen, I had 3 kids. I had to ask some questions. Yo, bro, what we doing? Mm-hmm. And so when I asked what we were doing, I guess that's when he decided in his mind that
you had to really, figure out what I wanted in life.
Yeah. And you had to figure out if I was worthy.
You very much so. Very much so.
So my reason for getting married is more or less, I guess, the same thing. I felt like that I loved Wesley. I knew I wanted to spend the rest of my life with Wesley. And honestly, I no longer wanted to be in a situation where I wasn't honoring God. And that is by no means the reason that, people should get married. We're just keeping it, as Wesley say, Wesley real about why we got married. And I felt like love was enough. Mm-hmm. But the truth is, love is not love until it's tested, honey. And so
it's just to start. It's just to get you in the door.
Yeah, love ain't love until it's tested. Mm-hmm. And so love is needed. Love is foundational. Definitely. But love in and of itself is not a reason to get married, because how many of you know that people who love each other divorce? There are a lot of people who love their spouses, and love is not enough. No. So if love is not love is not the reason. But Disney done messed us up, because we as girls or women, we will sit up and dream about our marriages, dream about life, and because we're in love, that's what we do, right? We
fairy tales.
Well, I mean, listen. Disney and TV did it to us. We feel like because we love a person, that means that's enough, and we think that that's what's going to hold us together, that's going to be the glue. But really, it's not. not when it comes to a marriage, not when it comes to a covenant, and not when it comes to a godly marriage. It can, you can do what you want to do in a relationship, right? Or in any kind of relationship. But when we're talking about a covenant, when we're talking about a godly marriage, love is not the reason that you need to be talking about you want to get married, because number one, again, it has to be tested, and that stuff in the beginning, we think we love, honey. You love when you can't stand somebody, and you still got to lay there when they get on your last,
it's for us too,
last nerve, right?
Yeah.
You don't get on my nerves no more, baby.
No, not at all.
Not no more. But you did. There was a time.
Only on Tuesdays.
Oh, Jesus. Where I had to pray hard. I think the reason why I pray so well is because of you. I really do.
Yeah.
Like I believe, because I'm gonna tell you.
I'm glad I could push you closer to God.
What? Man, listen. Yes. And we're going to discuss that tonight, because relationships, right? Marriages can definitely show you areas where you need to be healed, right? Listen, you better pick right, because that person can really reveal some things that are in you. And I believe that once we really kind of got through that rough patch and we relied on God and we let God heal us individually, right? Yes. And how God taught us, like Holy Spirit taught us how to deal with each other. And seriously, my prayer life, listen, it was enriched.
Definitely. So was mine.
Being married to you. So tonight we're going to have Terence and Atiya. They should be joining us shortly. So I'm just to give you a little bit of background. Terence and Atiya have been dedicated to helping couples build marriages rooted in honor and healing and purpose. And they come from it comes from a place of their testimony. And so Terence has been an executive leadership coach with over 35 years of experience empowering men to rediscover their identity, resilience, and leadership within their homes. Atiya is a relationship expert, minister, coach, and author. She helps women recognize their worth, help them to heal from trauma, and to build Christ-centered relationships. Together, they are founders of Position for Love and Iron Talk, and their mission is to restore honor and revive covenant. And they help couples to thrive. And they also have they have a beautiful ministry called the Blank Canvas. And so Atiya and Terence have been so important in our lives. Atiya is one of the most amazing relationship coaches that I've had the pleasure of working with. And it's just an honor and privilege to have them with us tonight. They both have a wealth of knowledge, yes, and they have a unique love story. And so I would like to bring them on so that they can share their experience, so they can share their love walk and their wisdom for tonight. And so I'm going to pose them the question because we were talking about love and my reason for getting married. So I want to pose the question to Atiya and Terence. What does love have to do with it? Is love enough? But first, I want them to talk about just how they met and give a little bit more of their background. So welcome, Atiya and Terence.
Hello.
Thank you so much. So I've given them an introduction. Wesley and I have just been talking about why did we get married? You know, what was the reason that we felt like we got married? And you know, we both felt like we loved each other. So the question that I would like to pose to you is love enough, right? What does love have to do with it? But first, please share your unique story, because it's not common. I think it's such a beautiful story on how you guys met, and just, you know, your background a little bit.
Baby, please start.
Baby. Okay. Well, first, Wesley and LaToya, it is our absolute pleasure and honor to be here with you all on this evening. Great evening to everyone watching. Again, we are delighted to be here. Really honored. Love the Ntlabatis to life. Just such an amazing. Listen, I mean, it's you all together. It's just amazing. So thank you all for having us. I am Atiya Johnson. I have been in the relationship space probably for intentionally about 7 years now. I didn't intend to. People would always just come and ask for advice and things of that nature. And then I decided, you know, people would say, you know, you might need to go into that space. And then from my own personal journey, before my husband, you know, before we even connected, it was my own personal journey that I was able to then walk others through. So that's that. Now, did I miss something? Did I miss something?
No. So how did how did you and Terence meet?
Oh, okay, baby. You want me to?
Yeah, that's what I thought you were about to talk about, sweetheart.
Okay, so how did we meet? Terence and I met online, actually, and it was something that I said, I am not getting online. It was totally out of my comfort zone. I had been divorced for about 12 years at this point, had been, you know, just going through a healing process for about 5 years. So when I started to feel like I was ready to date, you know, dating sites just kept coming. I said, no, I'm not getting on a dating site. Like I didn't know what to do. It was just out of my comfort zone. So I started a profile and put no pictures up. I was catfishing.
You don't want that life.
No, right. And so then I had invested in a platform, and there my baby came. And at first, we were very light with each other. We were very cordial. You know, we would say hello every now and then, because those of you that have been in the online dating space, it's not uncommon for you to chat with 2 or 3 people at one time. You're simply getting to know each other, you know, on a very basic level, right? And so, you know, we would chat every now and then, and we would video chat. I thought he was a very, very nice guy. And finally, I think, baby, after a couple of months, we had a meet and greet.
Yeah.
So we decided to go out one time. It was a very nice date, We had lunch, and probably about 3 weeks later, he called me, and he said, you know what? He said, I think you are an amazing woman. He said, but he said, I'm a man of integrity, and I like to date. I have to date one person at a time, and I got closer to someone else. And I said, oh, and I immediately, I thought, wow, what integrity that is.
Right.
I didn't think like, oh, forget you. No, it was like, what integrity this is. And I said, well, you know what? I said, all the best. I said, if it doesn't work, circle back. And that was it. And a year and a half later, I had deleted his number because I just went on with my life. And then a year later, you know, he would, happy Thanksgiving, you know, happy Valentine's Day. Like, oh, I'm seeing him a little more.
Trying to pop back in there.
Yeah. And so he just asked me, he said, would you like to go out? You know, would you like to have dinner? And I said, sure. And from that dinner date, we were inseparable from that moment forward.
Beautiful,
Yeah.
beautiful.
That's beautiful. That's so unconventional too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you rarely hear a story like this, so that's why I wanted you guys to share that, because there may be some people who may be joining and who have not been successful, in dating, and who may not think that is a way that they will go. You struggle with it in the beginning, but that's where God was telling you to go, so that you can find Terrence.
Yeah.
And so
T,
What's up, Wesley? How you doing, man?
see you over there. Keeping it real with the lady,
No.
Put the ball at her court. See what she's doing.
That's it. That's it.
So-
Go ahead.
go
I'm
ahead,
sorry.
Terrence.
No, I was going to say, I was just listening to my wife. I just wanted to fact check her, and her facts were correct.
Okay.
Yeah. So all her facts are correct. It was it was amazing because I, not unlike her, I was not down for the platforms. I mean, and online, it just sounded like the weirdest thing in the world. I'm truly old school. I mean, you coming up, you had to have back then what was called macking skills, but you had to know how to mac. You had to know how to talk to a lady, and that took a certain amount of skill and ability. So that was an art that Wesley, we perfected back in the day. So
of course, we had to
perfect that.
survival.
And so, survival, and so to go online was very awkward, and it only got more awkward the more people I met, and so. When I bumped into Atiya, I knew I had something special for sure. And as you said, it was just the timing was right, but it was just I couldn't juggle, and that's my style. And so but the one thing that stayed in my mind is that words she said is circle back, and I was so glad when I circled back, she was still available. So, that was a true blessing. So,
Absolutely. And here you are.
Reserved.
So the question I would like to ask you guys is love enough? So what does love have to do with marriage? Is love enough?
It's a great question. Are you waiting for me to go, baby?
I am, darling.
Oh, Lord. So it's interesting. I think love is a necessary ingredient, but there's no way, and I have no idea what my wife's answer is going to be to this. In no way do I think love is enough. I think that it's one of the major ingredients. It's kind of like trying to make pancakes without any type of liquid, right? So you gotta have that in there to get the right mixture. But is it enough? Yeah, not quite. Love can be evasive. Love can be tricky. Love can try to go outside the boundaries. Love itself has no boundaries. So so love needs to be contained within a covenant. Love needs to be guided. Love needs to have direction. Love needs to be disciplined. Right. So there's a lot to just loving and being in love. To mystify you. And you miss it, And one thing I loved about our relationship early on is that we were sober, very sober, and where we liked each other. We really loved the conversations. It was a slow build versus which I've been guilty of in my life of falling in love. Hey, like you don't have no sense. You just as they used to say, knows, and you make a bad decision after bad decision. So, so I think love is a needed ingredient for sure. 1,000,000% a needed ingredient. You got to have it, but you have to guide it. It doesn't guide you.
Yeah, definitely. Atiya, what do you have? Do you have anything to add to that?
I 100% agree with you, baby. I do not think love is enough. Again, I do. I think it's a foundation, but it's not, because love in itself is it's action, right? And because if it was enough, we all wouldn't be sitting here at the stages in our lives not having our only and first love, right?
Right.
Right. So,
Absolutely.
yes,
Yeah,
if love
yeah.
was enough, I know I've been divorced. My husband has been divorced, so if love was enough,
I've been
that
divorced.
wouldn't have been, because at one
Mhm.
point we did love those people, right?
Mhm.
Absolutely.
And so I do. I think it takes a level of sobriety. I think it takes commitment. I think it takes discipline. Um, I think it takes 100% sacrifice.
Hmm.
100%. It takes perseverance, and
Yeah.
all of those things, So I do not. I agree. I don't think that love is enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Terrence's analogy about baking a cake. When you
Mhm.
got the flour in there, you good, right? That's you. That's the you and me together with the flour. Then you add the water. That's the love, right?
Mhm.
Gets us
Mhm.
together. Gets us sticking
Yeah, yeah,
together.
yeah, you stick
And
together,
then
right?
you got those ingredients, to make it right. The
Mhm.
eggs, the butter,
Mhm.
even maybe you want to add milk. You know what I'm saying? The
Yeah.
sugar, whatever you want to
Oh,
add.
yes.
Those, you know what I'm saying? Those are the
Exactly.
things that kind of like
Latoya, get that
align
sugar
us.
in there,
Gotta
yeah.
have
Yeah,
that
gotta
sugar now.
right because those are the things that like align our relationship. And may help
Mhm.
bond us together to create that marriage that we potentially want out of
Yeah.
this relationship. So
Yeah.
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 Yeah, that's good. It really is. Everything. I like also when Terrence was saying that it has no bounds. Like it takes a lot of discipline.
Mhm.
And then and what I was saying early on is that love is tested, right? Like
Mhm.
when you go through the tests and trials in a relationship, that's when that it's for
Right.
sure real
Amen. Yeah.
love,
Let's
right?
go.
And so when it comes to marriage, the title is why did I get married, and
Mhm.
what's God's purpose for marriage. And so we asked each other, why did we get married, but why did you get married?
Mm.
Oh, buddy.
Ladies first.
Yeah.
Smart man, smart man. Yo, they always trying to put it on us. Like,
I
I
felt
don't
it
know.
coming.
I
I
want to be a
felt it
gentleman,
coming. Baby, no, baby. You were the pursuer. Baby, you have to go.
Mhm.
Can you
I'm steady
go?
with you.
Do you want me to go first?
Yes.
All right. So, okay. So this is not a conventional answer, y'all. So I just have to just tell you. So I got married out of obedience. So first off, my marriage uh, initially had little to do with Atiya because I didn't know who she was. Right. So just follow me on this. So
Okay.
I knew who I served. I know who my God is. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I prayed to him about what I needed, not what I wanted. And
That's good.
so, in praying for that partner, it wasn't to have a partner for my need. And this is the bridge that I think is super important. The purpose for the marriage is so I could have fewer distractions in my life, so I could be more in line with His purpose for my life.
Ooh, that's good.
Man.
That's
Because
good.
if I ran around distracted,
Mm-hmm.
then I'm way off purpose. I'm
Yeah.
way off.
Right.
But
Mhm.
praying for someone that is of equal yoke
Mm-hmm.
in more ways than I even knew until we got
Yeah.
married. And actually getting that person, it put me on the track to where I don't have distractions from what God needs me to do here. And
Yeah.
I'm clear. My purpose is clearer having a partner versus being distracted. So that's one of my number one reasons is to increase that covenant with God, and she's a part of that.
Okay.
That's good.
Yeah.
Alignment.
Mhm.
That's good. Yeah.
Important, very much.
Atiya, what about you?
So why did I get married? I knew I was a wife. I know I'm a wife.
Come
I'm not
on.
a
Yes,
girlfriend. I'm not a
ma'am.
side chick. I'm a wife. I'm not
Yes.
someone you're gonna keep on ice.
Yeah.
I am
Hello.
a wife. So I got married because that's something that I've always desired. I've always desired to be a wife. I've always desired to have a godly marriage. I've always desired for God to be glorified, through us, and whether that is, kingdom, whether it's in business, whether it's, when we put clothes on, all of that matters. We're not going to be too deep. And this was one of the things. This was one of no, it is really funny, y'all, because I tell women all the time, if you are single, and if you are desiring a mate, write down, journal to God what it is that you desire. Because one of the reasons that I knew that Terrence was to be my husband was because there were things that only the Father and I knew about through journaling, through my heart. And I mean, very, very detailed, intricate things,
Yeah.
And when we begin to date and get serious, I was like, wow, that's on my, that was my heart to the Father. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
And it was just the things, it wasn't superficial or any of those things. And, I dated when I was dating, I could have been married, right? And not saying that they were bad. They just were not for me holistically.
Amen.
Yeah.
You're right.
you know, and so why did I get married? Because I knew that I was being prepared. I've always wanted to be a wife. And so I got married just to that, to love, to be loved, right? To walk out, for companionship, for partnership, so that's it.
Yeah. I love that word partnership, because when we think about marriage and we think about covenant, we're supposed to be the help mate or help meet. And so we're supposed to be partners. But I think today what's missing in a lot of marriages and relationship is that partnership. You have so many couples who are I feel like in competition, so many couples who are racing, so many couples who have a hard time with bridging that gap and bringing the two worlds together. Have a hard time with the sacrifice that you mentioned, or have a hard time with the women, have a hard time with submission. And so that partnership is so important. But I feel that in a lot of relationships, a lot of people really struggle with that partnership. Why do you feel that is? Like, why do you feel that people struggle with being the help mate or being the partner in marriages and in relationships?
That's a very good question. You want to take that one first, babe?
Go ahead, sweetheart.
So to be clear, so I don't answer the wrong question, is what's my thoughts on why people struggle with the partnership piece of it?
Yes.
Yeah, and I think from my experience, and I've done couples counseling for a number of years and things like that, and working with families for many decades, right? So what I find is that it's an issue of selfishness. It's an issue of I in those relationships, and like you said, a competition between the two. It's two people, as my wife and I talk about often, that have not died to themselves, died to their old ways, and talked about IT. There another group that I run called Iron Talk with just men. We talk about going back to the old ones and twos. So when you're back on the old ones and twos, you're doing that stuff that used to work for you. You're doing things that you used to do, and going back to the bravado, the intimidation, the old player mode or whatever. But whatever worked for you is an individualized walk. And I think that when you think about a partnership, it's a lot to that. It's a lot of give. It's a lot of take. I didn't know I was marrying a bully, right? And so I married a straight up bully. Wesley, straight up bully, man. And so bully, man.
I didn't think I could be bullied. You know what I'm saying?
You already know, bully, man. So
hey, bully me.
Yeah, so I look up, and I had to learn, and this is very minor but very true. And the partnership that I had to learn is I wasn't used to anyone wearing my t-shirts, my hats, my whatever. And I got some cool hats that I got stacked up to like. Well, you know how you buy something you don't ever plan to wear. This still has a little tag on it and
This is
everything.
there. This
When I
is
come
for a
home,
special occasion, baby.
exactly.
Yeah.
And she just coming back from somewhere with it on all day. And so, but
Yeah.
I had to start finding pleasure in that, in that sharing, and her being a part of my world in every way. And so, although it's a small example, you can really, really blow that example up into finances, into all kind of areas where we have to learn to share, to partner more until you erase as many lines as comfortably possible, and then get uncomfortable with it.
Yeah,
That's good.
I like what you said when you said the blending of worlds. Like I'm my own world, you are your own world, and then like bringing those together. Because ain't nobody bullying me in my world.
Right. That's
But
it.
you add her to my world, she bullying.
I understand.
I didn't even realize. I'm like, yo, hold on.
Hey,
You know what I mean? So you
it's
gotta learn
real.
how to love them through that. Like, hey, you can't bully me, okay? Let's talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, what's something else?
Yeah, and I think we struggle with that early on because, coming from the backgrounds that we came from, it was really difficult to let go of that world, right? The space where you're comfortable in, the space. I know I'm gonna take care of me. I know I'm gonna take care of me and everything that belongs to me. But it takes a certain level of trust and sacrifice to be able to yield and to let that go, and to trust, that he has me. And so it's just like when you run track, when you let go of that baton, you got to trust that person is in the right position and that they are ready to take it and do what they're supposed to do with it. So I will be honest, I struggled for years. And a lot of it has to do with previous hurt and trauma, and we'll deal with that too soon. But yeah, a lot of it had to do with that. And I just listen, I didn't want him to fumble. But I had to be able to trust him with the ball at the end of the day.
That's it. Good stuff.
Yeah. Do you have anything to add, Atiya?
No, that's good. I totally agree. And when you think about, that partnership, I totally agree. It takes dying, and partnership is not just, it's not automatic, and it doesn't matter when we just think about marriage, when we think about coming together as one, that in order for us to come together as one. Now, of course, when we're married before God, that's the way he sees us. But then we have that actual practical walk that we have to go through, and we have to walk through the process, of becoming one. And I think that's where, even when it comes to partnership, grace is so critical. It's so key, because we're both going to need it. We're going to have to need, there's times I'm going to need grace, and there's times I need to extend grace to my husband, as a lifestyle, as a lifestyle, and I think, that also helps foster partnership, because it's something we grow into. I don't think it happens by osmosis, and I think someone said it earlier, it's really the things, Toya, I think you said, it's when we go through things, when love is tested, when it's tried, right? Even, this, the platform that we're on, before we could all use it, this had to be tested and tried to see if it was going to do what it said it was going to do and what its purpose is. And I think it's the same for us. And oftentimes, in marriage, sometimes we look at it, it's a beautiful wedding, it's a beautiful ring, and, posting pictures, on vacation, and this is my boy, and all of that is fine, but when it comes to really what marriage really is, it is a dying partnership. It's a dying 100%.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I don't know. People ask me, how is married life? A slaughterhouse. A slaughterhouse. Okay. Next question.
What? I mean, cut
Listen.
down.
Listen.
Cutting away, trimming
Come on.
all the fat.
Come on. Come on. Down to the marrow.
God.
Come on, down to the bone. Look how they say it to the white meat.
White meat. Absolutely. Oh my God.
Yeah.
And dying it takes.
That's
I mean,
it.
and it's
true.
painful.
Yes.
You know, it's not
Mhm.
easy. You have to be intentional about it. And I think that that's what people mess up. You know, they think that marriage is the wedding.
Yeah.
They think that marriage is all the things that you acquire. They think that marriage is the pictures, the photos, the photo. No, like Atiya said, it's a slaughterhouse. You have to die, and it is not easy when you have to transform into one. When you go from being two separate individuals and now you become one, that takes death.
You know, one thing that we agreed on before we got married, and you know, one thing I'll just throw in there is that we were celibate before we got married, and I can tell you that gave us a chance to not deal with just so many emotions, high and low, and then our bond was not all about a physical bond.
That's
because
good.
If it was a physical bond, mainly, I'm saying 51% to 60%, I don't think we'd be standing here today. Honestly, don't, because the type of dying that we had to do with our individual selves to come together, one, just having a good physical connection is not enough to hold that together. We learned each other. We loved each other at a much deeper level. She became my best friend in conversation, tough conversations, laughing together all the time, having a great time. So all that helped to build it. But we came up with a phrase that has helped us in that slaughterhouse, and that is find delight in discomfort. So no matter what we're dealing with, we find the delight in the discomfort, because there's nothing that we don't go through that there's something in there we can't stop and say, well, baby, what do we take from this? What's our takeaway from this? What can we learn from this? What was good out of that situation that just happened? And we just keep accelerating and building on that delight and discomfort.
That's good. That's good. That perception, right? That and that's really with Wesley and I, or at least I can say from my own testimony, when I began to change the way that I saw him. You know, and so when I changed the way that I saw him, the things that were done that I may not have liked, right, or were uncomfortable with, I no longer looked at them through the same lens. And so I was able to do, like you say, and find the light in the situation instead of, you know, just constantly focusing on what's wrong. No, so what's right in the situation.
What's right? Where's the delight?
Yeah. I love that. I love that. But that takes the place of healing.
Yes.
You know, you have to be healed to, I mean, for you to do that, like to be celibate, that's that right there as an adult in this day and age. And I'm, even though, you know, we're believers, let's be real. You know, I was saved.
Yes.
You know, and Wesley and I, we were not. I'm not, look, as Mama Barbara say, saved for real. I wasn't saved for real. You know, I had been in church, you know, but I was still struggling with some things.
Absolutely.
And so that wasn't our testimony, and it might not be a lot of people, but
that's right.
To be able to do that, you've got to be able to heal from some things. From your past. And come into a new, like you're coming into a relationship. And so a lot of that stuff that is on you has had to be washed away in order for you to come into the relationship and say, okay, no, we're doing this the right way. We're going to be celibate, and we're not going to bring all that and drag all that. And then now, like, I'm interested in you.
Yes.
You know, not your physical, because the physical will change.
That's right.
That's a guarantee.
I mean, hey, the physical, my weight go up and down.
It's very
One
true.
minute, you know, I'm medium.
Mhm.
The next minute, I'm extra large.
Medium. Medium. I love it, Toy. Medium.
So, you know, I ain't been medium in a while though. When we first got together, you know, and then there was some times when I was looking like, okay, listen, I got to back away from that plate and lose a couple pounds, and I look good.
Yes.
Right. But it changes and fluctuates. So when you focus
Yes.
on those types of things, and what if, you know, God forbid, but what if something happens and
That's
you,
right.
you know, and that changes, if that's what your relationship was built on,
Right.
you're going to be in a world of hurt.
Yep.
It's true. It's very true.
Yeah.
It's very true.
Once you
Yes.
get those
And that was the time. Oh, go ahead, Wes. No,
No, I was
please.
just
Go ahead.
saying, once you get those lustful eyes out your gates, then you start to really like notice your environment and pay attention and where you're lacking, where you need to be better, you know, where you're doing great. You know, you're very strong for starting out that way, for sure. Because I was a wild dude back there. I don't think I could have started it that way. You know what I mean? But starting it that way, it seems, from what I can take, kind of X'd out a lot of the growing pains.
Yeah, that's right.
You know what I'm saying? Because once you get past, like I said, the lustful look, then you're like, okay, you start noticing she talked too much. You start noticing, you know, that she don't clean up after herself, or you know, you just start noticing the little things. Like she'll start looking at you like, like this dude really is a little off his rocker. Like,
right.
Like he can be really lazy. I thought he was motivated. You know what I'm saying? So you kind of circumvented all that by cutting the lust out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's
a good point.
It also helps you identify, and I say all the time, you know, that sex and money are intoxicators in relationship. You know, how many women are with men that they have zero connection to, but because they provide, right? How many men, can't let a girl loose because of her, her bedtime, you know? And so I say it all the time, they are intoxicators. And when you take money and you take sex off the table, you know, then you really see what you're dealing with, and you can really deal with each other in sobriety, you know? Yeah, for sure.
That's
and
so
I
good.
think it's also important, you know, that I don't think I led with that, and I'm grateful we were on the same page, you know. But it was a conversation, right? And I said clearly, I wasn't saying this to beg him to stay. I simply let him know where I was, right? And if it's something that, you know, because I've dated men, and I don't date outside of, you know, I don't date any men that's not Christian, that are not Christians, right? But even in that space, you know, when it came down to it, it was like, you know, Tia, you amazing, but I can't have no girlfriend, and I'm not sleeping with her. And I'm like, well, I'm not the one for you, because there's no that is up for compromise, you know. And I remember, you know, we had the conversation, and the first thing my love said, he said, baby, that's really refreshing. You said, you know, he said, it's really refreshing, you know. And he said, as a single man, he said, I'm trying. He said, but it's hard out there because the women, you know, are doing the same thing. They're like, oh no, I'm not celibate. Who?
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Very refreshing.
Yeah. So yeah.
They tried to keep up with the men.
Yes.
Yeah. So I want to, we have about 15 minutes, but I really want to talk about what it means to be in covenant. We touched on it. It's something that we hear all the time. It's something that you know, we discuss all the time. But what does that truly mean to be in covenant?
Yeah, that's a really good question too, because you know, it's a contract, right? But it's not a legalistic contract. It's a relational contract that's even deeper for us because of our belief system, right? So we have a relational spiritual contract, and at the helm of that contract is God, and that binds you in a a very, very unique way, because it's not just a bind here on earth, it's an everlasting bind, right? So you're talking about an everlasting contract that's highly relational, highly based off of what you commit to between one another, what you commit to before God, and what he holds you accountable for as a couple. So it's nothing to play with when you talk about being in covenant relationship with someone. It's more than a notion, and that goes back to one of your first questions: is love enough? And that's why love is not enough, because you could be in love all day long, but it's not as strong as being in a covenant relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. So what do you think in relationships, right? What is the difference between relationships that are in it for more so for convenience than in covenant, right? So when let me clarify that. In a marriage, right? If we're focused on convenience of the marriage and not focused on the covenant of the marriage, what can that look like?
You got it, babe.
You go ahead, Bo. You want to roll?
I think that I like that question a lot. I think that in convenience, there's no need for a throne, because I got that seat covered. So I don't need God to be sitting on that seat, right? Because in a convenience relationship, it's just room for me, my desires, my thoughts, my lady's desires, her thoughts, where you want to go, what you want to do. It's about us. And if it don't feel good, we don't have to engage in it. Or if it's not something that we like doing, we don't have to do it. And if that restricts us a little bit too much, then we don't have to get involved in that part of it. We'll pick and choose the pieces that we like. That's a relationship of convenience. A relationship of covenant, as my wife said, that's that relationship that takes you into that slaughterhouse. Because that is not about how you feel. We've been married now for a couple of years, and I have not raised my voice at my wife one time, not one time, nor do I ever plan to. And that is not because of convenience. Heck, I wanted to yell today, right? So, but the covenant piece of it is I have to honor the person, the God that we serve, that is on the throne, because he is the head of this household.
Yes.
And so therefore, I'm being watched at a much deeper level in covenant with my wife. And so it's a completely different scenario. If it was out of convenience, I could act like a nut and turn around like Ike Turner with flowers the next day, and we could just play that game.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. That's good.
That's good.
Yeah. When you mentioned, like wanting to do something, right? And not doing it. So a covenant calls for alignment. It calls for accountability, right? A covenant keeps you within the bounds, right? It keeps you from going, out of the bounds. So when you hit a foul ball, you know what I mean? Foul ball would be yelling, or cursing. Foul ball will be, just going out and leaving because I'm upset. Foul ball will be going to sleep with angry, right? Letting the sun go down on our anger. But because we're in covenant, I can no longer do that. Even if I've practiced those things in the past,
That's right.
I won't
let it go. Yep.
Right?
That's right.
I won't do it because I'm in covenant, and it's not based on convenience. Convenience say I'm leaving because I'm hot. So let me get my car and drive. Right? Convenience saying, this ain't working because you're not doing, what I want you to do anymore. I don't feel the love. Right? I don't feel attracted to you anymore. Let's be real. Sex is not the same. And so, because of that, a convenience relationship, I'm out. I'm going to either get it from somewhere else, or I'm not going to give it to you because it's changed. So to me, that's the difference between convenience and covenant. Covenant say, listen, even if it hurts, I'm still going to stay. Even if I have to be broken, I'm still going to stay.
Right.
Even if I have to be slaughtered, I'm still going to stay, because in the end, God is building even me up and healing me through this relationship.
That's right.
Absolutely. And that's critical. I love what you just said, Toya. What you ended with, because God is healing me. He's healing us through this relationship. Because yes, there is something to be said about, when we come together, there is a level of wholeness that should be, right? But then God is never going to make sure we are totally whole, number one, because we've not been glorified. And so as long as we're on this earth, there's always going to be sanctification. There's always going to be something we need to heal from. But even in the terms of marriage, God, there's always going to be a part of each other that of our vulnerabilities and pain and healing that we are assigned to.
Yes. Yeah.
It just is, because how can we grow? We talking about covenant and we're talking about cutting. Like I'm sitting here, like literally, like just today, like being cut. You know what I mean? Because my husband said something to me, and like you said, it's not for convenience. We're not escaping. We're not trying to pull something else out of the sky. But what? There is but nothing. This is a space where you need to bring some attention, and not only attention, you need to bring some resolution to, and you need to bring right. And so with that, and it's very painful. Because when you think about covenant, it's, there's no covenant without blood. You know what I mean? There's no sacrifice. There's no covenant without sacrifice. There's no sacrifice without blood. And so when we're being cut, it should be from those things that are being cut out of us, more so than the knives we're poking at each other through, whether it's the silence, whether it's words, whether it's no words, whatever it is, and so that is something, and I'm grateful. My husband has never raised his voice at me, but honey, those words, listen, and he don't listen, but when he says something, it's clear, it hits, it cuts, and it does what it needs to do. You understand what I'm saying? And me, as one that has a passion to grow, I remember when we first got married, I said, baby, please, I said, anything you see, because I believe that husband and wife, we are the best accountability partners for one another, because we see one another in a space and in a way not everyone does, right? So I have a passion to grow. And I said, baby, if you can say anything to me, right? I said, please don't leave me the same. If you see something, right? Or if there's something, that where I grow, if there's an area, where I need to level up or tone it down, let me know, because I know you have my best interest, right? And he said, baby, I will. He said, but if I don't have anything to say, I won't say it, right? And he hasn't, but when he has something to say, he says it. You know what I mean? And so, and so I think that's, when we talk about that covenant piece, it is it's a cutting, and it's finding that delight, in discomfort. And the same way we, pray and ask God, Lord, anything in me that's not like you, take it away. That's what's happening right now.
Absolutely.
And the Lord is not right. And the Lord is allowing your Lord, the same way that God, that Sarah called Abraham Lord, he's allowing your covering to do it gently, right? And so it's not, but it's something, that is unintentional, right? And when we talk about coming together as one, we are bringing two total different lives together. We're bringing two different backgrounds, two different, you know what I mean? Two different, totally different, and that is not easy. It's not easy, it's not. And someone has to lay something down. And I made up in my mind when I got married, before I got married, I said, I am committed, not just to God, but I'm committed to my husband, to our marriage, and whatever it is in me that does not serve, my marriage, it has to go. I'm not going to partner with it. I'm not going to make excuses for it. I'm not going to dance around it. I'm not going to act like it's not there. I'm not going to, be immature and try to find something, from him. No. And deal with what's right here on the table. There's nothing else. There's nothing else for you to pull from. Let's deal with this right here and nothing else.
Listen, that right there will
No.
set some people free. You hear me?
Yes, yes.
That alone will
Easy.
set
Well,
somebody
what
free.
about you? What about me?
Yeah.
No, we're talking about
Yes.
this right here, this space right here that
Yeah.
you need to get out of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That right there.
Yeah.
When we got together, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
for years, every
Mm-hmm.
time we would have some type of conflict, you know, the other person will point at the other person instead of dealing with self. So that is so good.
Mm-hmm.
And so as we wrap this up, is there anything that you or any advice you would give someone who is newly married or someone who is thinking about getting married? What's just something quick that you would advise them now that you've been married, now that you know you understand, you know, of course you understand the purpose of marriage and you're working through some things. What advice would you give to someone who's newly married or someone who's preparing to get married?
Well, I can tell you something that really helped us, and it was what you were talking about in the beginning, and that's our canvas. One thing I would, just have folk do is to, in their own way, sit down and come to agreement on what's important for them, how they communicate together. Like number one thing for us was that God will always be at the center, always, no matter what. We know where to run to. We're going to run back to the center. We had things on there on our covenant, like divorce is not an option. Like I said earlier, find delight in discomfort. And there's just a whole poster full of things that we came in agreement with. And again, this is before we ever made love. So what we did first is we made a covenant, so to speak, that we were going to live by and came into agreement with that. And so we have that to fall back on, because every day is not the slaughterhouse, right? But when that does show up, we're strong. We're strong as I don't know what, because we know where our strength is. We know, right now it's a little bit fuzzy because we're not feeling really, really good about one another right now. But we know what our core looks like because we agree on our core early on, and it's visual. We can go back and see.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like that.
Nice.
I like that, because if you don't identify, then how do people know?
Yeah.
How will you know if you don't identify? And then if you don't identify it again, how do you go back to it?
You'll go back to it.
How are you reminded? How do you remind yourself? How are you guided if you don't go back? So I love that, the blank canvas. So I really appreciate you guys. Atiya, did you have something you wanted to add to it?
No, I'm good. I would just say, so so if you are, just thinking or, preparing for marriage, don't be so rigid and have so many preconceived notions that you're not willing to be flexible. Make sure you're always yielded, because sometimes we can go in, thinking, this, and that's fine, but it may not look like that. Right. And so just be willing to make sure that you're always flexible, always yielded. That's so important. And it may sound small, but being yielded to the Father first, right? Because it's Him that will convict our hearts. It's Him that really navigates us, right? And so I just think, that's very important. And then take some time, to be healed. And then, want the God of the marriage and not just the marriage. Because if you just want the marriage, you'll make the marriage God. We want the God of it.
Yeah. And you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that.
We'll be worshiping spouses and the idea of marriage.
Yeah.
He has us on that throne, because if the husband or the wife, the spouse, make one or the other their mini gods, small g, that's a problem. I mean, that's a disaster waiting to happen. I do want to say one last piece on this, because, I think about it from a male perspective, because I speak to men a lot, but it also works for females. And this, you all, is don't marry your imagination.
Oh, wow.
And my father-in-law and I love him like nobody's business. It's his birthday today. Happy birthday to you, Pop. But he and I've had that conversation so much. And he's like, Terence, so many men marry their imaginations, and that's why it doesn't work out. And it also goes for so many women.
Yeah.
You're looking right at a person right across that dinner table, and you're not seeing who they are. They're showing you all day, every day, but
Yeah.
you looking at your imagination. She fits the bill in this way, that way, and all kind of ways, and I can see what she can be, going to be, while she's showing you all day who she is.
Ooh, that's good. That is good right there. Don't marry your imagination.
You're dropping gems all night, brother.
Man.
So good. Oh my God. This has been so amazing,
Yes.
and just powerful. I thank you guys so much. And to our viewers, if you have enjoyed tonight, definitely let us know. Terence and Atiya will be with us at our marriage retreat in September. And so if you, I'm telling you that if you think tonight this is nothing, this is just a little. I mean, I wouldn't even call it an appetizer. This is just the one crispy Brussels sprout. This ain't even the whole. This is just the one crispy with a little drizzle on it. But this ain't even the full, appetizer. They're going to be at our retreat, and we are going to have a phenomenal time building and encouraging and enriching marriages. It's going to be amazing. It's going to. We have only a few more slots, so if you're interested, then please DM us. Put in Garden in the comments, so that we can get you that information, because we want it to be an intimate setting. As you can hear the wisdom in this couple, we want it to be intimate. We want it to be something that when you walk away, that your marriage and your life is truly transformed. And it's not just for newlyweds. It's not just for people who are going through things. Like, this is a marriage retreat for everybody. I think everybody can walk away and, as Atiya say, grow right through the encounter that we will have there, through the teachings, through the experiences, and just the connection. You never know who you might meet there, at the retreat, that you might connect with, that can say something, or that that could just bless your life, and the relationships that you might be able to create. So if you want more information, type in Garden, and also DM us for any other specific topics that you would like to talk about, and we definitely will have Terence and Atiya on again. Thank you so much, Terence and Atiya, for joining us. You have an amazing night, and until next time.
All right.
Yes, y'all take care. God bless. All right, Wes.